Good afternoon and happy Thursday to all your sunshiny faces, guys. I am so exhausted. Me and Jack did a crazy good job today, guys. I have to say Jack too, especially because he kept wanting to give up. He was like, Kayla, my shoes, they're digging into the back of my heels, which they actually were. Like, I have no clue what the heck was up with his shoes, but he had like some type of problem. Like the backs of them were like the plasticky part had like come off or something like that, or like the fabricing parts had come off and like the plastic was exposed, and so he was having troubles today in the backyard, and so he like helped me out like a ton today, guys. I ended up finishing moving plants around and transplanted everything that we needed to get transplanted, which in the back bed by our garage. That bed, I had already planted the plants that we had bought, but some of the ones that were going to be transplanted I needed to move still, and I didn't do that yesterday because yesterday I was also beat. So that was the first thing I did first thing this morning. I had some lilies that I moved and put on the ends of either bed, and then we also had some Live Forevers that I had moved around into two different places as well. I had two spots of Live Forevers. One actually I just moved out of our front flower bed because it was doing so well. I was like, I could split this. There was actually a small little section that was actually by itself that I think I'd already split anyway, and had just moved that to the back. And then there was another one that was I found in the one of the beds that I had just got done doing, that was buried and wasn't doing so hot because it was really not getting too much sunlight. So now it should be doing really well and thrive just like the ones that were in the front flower bed, because it's not going to be crowded out by any other plants or anything like that. It's got its own little spot in the backyard. So I did that, and then also moved some, I think they were crocuses, or I think maybe something like that, and moved those to the back as well. We have some that are growing in with our hostas in between ours and our neighbor's driveway, and so we ended up, I just moved like 4 of them and put them back there. There actually I think might be like 5 or 6, but they're kind of rooted together, so I just pulled a couple of them up and let them go ahead and do their thing in the backyard as well. So I finished that bed today, and then me and Jack went behind the garage and cleared out a whole nother section of this stuff back there, which, like I said too, without having Matthew's help, I feel like we did like a good job of like what we could. I was going over everything with like a fine-tooth comb and was just clearing out as much as I possibly could with digging little things up and stuff like that. Then on top of that too, I went ahead and dug out a tree stump that was pretty much almost underground, but it had a couple little pieces that were sticking out, and I realized that someone had cut it really low, and then it was covered over with some dirt, but there were little ones that were coming up. So I was like, okay, this needs to be pulled out completely, and I went ahead, dug it out, cut down all the way to the lowest root I possibly could, cut that out, and then dug it out and got it out of there. So I got one of those out of there today. There's a handful of other ones that still need to be taken care of, and then like I said too, is going over everything and just like meticulously weeding through it, because everything back there is garbage. I think everything, but I just needed to go over it a little bit more finely, because we kind of had just gone over everything like roughly and just kind of pulled everything up, and then there was other little things that were growing around, and now that all the big stuff's out, the little stuff is starting to come up, and so we needed to go over all the little stuff. So I was doing that, and Jack was actually going through in some of the trees that were back there, went over and was trimming them all down, because all the trees back there are coming out, and so there was a couple, and then we sawed them down. We pulled out a ton of the big weeds that were back there too, which I needed Jack's help for a handful of them to help me actually pull them out. But guys, I am so beat again, just like yesterday. I feel like it was just a lot to do, like 3 days in a row worth of yard work, and I am like completely just exhausted, guys. I didn't get to my grocery list, so I'm going to do that tomorrow. And then I did get to a load of laundry and a load of dishes today. I did dishes first thing this morning, and I also ended up doing a load of laundry. I threw it in the washing machine last night and then threw it in the dryer this morning when I woke up. because I needed some of the shorts and the shirt. Actually, the short and the shirts that I'm wearing today is what was in the laundry, because I was literally just about out of shorts because I had been sweating in them so much that I was like, okay, I need new clean shorts and tank top and stuff like that. And I only had like, I think, one pair of like athletic shorts left that were clean. Other than that, I had like denim shorts and stuff like that, but I'm way more comfortable in athletic shorts, so that's what I wanted. I wanted washed, especially after I was done cleaning, you know, and weeding and stuff like that. Wanted to just be in something that was comfortable, and jean shorts and stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to make sure these were clean for today after I got done in the yard. So I took a shower already earlier today. I just am going to take a real quick one right before I head to bed. But our neighbor was actually outside, and she was doing, well, actually it's her son that, I think she owns the house or something like that, but like two of her sons live there, then one moved out, the other one lives there now. They actually were the ones that sold us Matthew's car, or we bought the car, Matthew's car, off of them. His car. And so they ended up, the mom was there though, and she doesn't live in the house though, but like I think, like I said, she like owns it or something like that. She does a lot of their like gardening and stuff, and so she was actually out there today, and they're gonna have a garage sale tomorrow, and asked if we wanted to put anything out, and unfortunately we didn't really get anything together. So I don't think we're going to. And then on top of that too, we also have my cousin's birthday, which is on Saturday. So we don't really know that we're going to be able to get to like yard sale, garage sale stuff tomorrow or on Saturday. But she was actually out there and had asked if she could borrow our lawnmower, because the neighbor next to them borrowed their lawnmower and had it, and she wanted to make sure, she was like, I don't know when he's gonna be home, she's like, and I need to make sure that it gets mowed before tomorrow, before, you know, the yard sale, and that she wanted to know if she could borrow our lawnmower. So my dad let her use our lawnmower, and she actually gave us a whole bunch of vegetables that she had grown in her garden, which I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome, especially because we really didn't get a chance to get our garden in this year, which we might actually do some like fall vegetables and stuff like that, like lettuce, kale, that kind of stuff that's more of a fall vegetable and it grows up pretty quickly. But she gave us cucumbers and peppers and some tomatoes too, so it was so nice of her to like give it to us just for letting her borrow our lawnmower. So yeah, and then on top of that too, my mom today, because we have a ton of nectarines that we've got at Aldi for like the last 2 or 3 weeks or something like that, and like my mom's like had like 1 or 2 here or there, but I don't know, I kept buying them and maybe shouldn't have, but I wasn't really paying attention because so many of them were in the fridge, and I was like, oh, there's still room in the fridge, like I'll still buy more. So I bought them, and we still have a ton of nectarines, you guys can see up here, and plums, and we were leaving them sit out. But my mom actually ended up making some of these freezer jams, a handful of them, and they're actually, I think ours are in the freezer right now. She put them in here. Let's see if we can even find them in here. I don't know where they went. Oh, down in here. These 2 at least. But they're just freezer jams, so then when you want to use them, you just defrost them, and they're like totally fine and everything like that. These ones I actually think my mom is selling, but she made some of those today. It's like nectarine, like jelly freezer jam. And they taste so good, guys. They taste like honey, and it's not honey because it's like actually completely vegan. We use pectin in it because we got it, long story guys, we got it to make hard candy with, and couldn't really find a good recipe to use with pectin instead of using gelatin, and we got it at Whole Foods to actually use, like I said, for the hard candies, but then didn't really have a good recipe that we wanted to use for it, so we've had pectin sitting in our pantry for the last couple weeks, and my mom's like, oh, we can make freezer jam with it, so she did it with that, and it's like to make it a little bit more like solidified, like thicker kind of, and like kind of like jelly, you know, or like a gelatin, so it like jellos up a little bit more like jelly does, or like a jam does. So that's why we ended up using that. So it's like completely vegan. My mom made it from scratch. She used nectarines from Aldi and stuff like that, like everything we already had here, and she just made a handful of them. I feel like it's like perfect like outdoor like summer and like just like homegrown kind of like pioneer kind of I don't know what other words to use, just like very like survival, or kind of like we spent the whole day outside in the garden. Then we got, you know, like fresh fruits and vegetables from our neighbor's garden. My mom made completely from scratch jelly, like all kinds of like Pioneer Day kind of stuff, and you know, things like that. I don't even know what you would call that, like just like everything like homegrown from scratch kind of stuff today. So yeah, anyways though guys, I'm gonna take a shower, real quick one, and head to bed. I will see you guys in tomorrow's vlog. Most likely no more yard work tomorrow because, for one, I am beat. Two, I have to go to the grocery stores tomorrow and I need to make my grocery list. And then I'm also, just like I said, I did 3 days of hard outside yard work. And normally Fridays I really haven't been doing any yard work, so I think that I'm not going to. But it's actually pretty cool out today. I was still sweating a lot, but it was much cooler than I feel like it was like on Tuesday when I was out there, which was like, it got cooler every day. And this morning was actually, there was a breeze out. Sometimes the sun would kind of hide behind the clouds and we got a nice little shade, and so it was a little bit nicer out. But anyways though, yeah guys, I'll see you all in tomorrow's vlog. If you guys did enjoy today's, make sure you guys give it a big old thumbs up. If you guys are new, we'd love if you'd subscribe, and I'll see all of your sunshiny faces tomorrow. So bye guys.